So yeah, immediately picking this up for N64 games, it does feel really natural, and personally, I love the look of the Brawler64. Hey, what's going on everybody? It's ETAPRIME back here again. Today we're going to be taking a look at some awesome retro-inspired controllers from Retro Fighters. Now, both of these controllers here actually function with the Nintendo Switch and PC, but one of these also works with the Wii, the original Gamecube, and the Wii U. So what we have here is the Brawler64, obviously inspired by the N64, and we also have the new BattlerGC, which definitely gives off Gamecube vibes, and this is the one that'll work with the Switch, PC, the Wii, and the Wii U. Starting off here with the Brawler64, this is the one that I'm most excited about, given that we now have access to some N64 games if you have Nintendo Switch Online, and I know it can be a bit expensive, but if you're a huge Nintendo fan, then you're probably subscribed to that service already. This does use a USB Type-C cable to charge the internal battery, because we've got a fully wireless Bluetooth N64 inspired controller, and these are actually some of my favorite from Retro Fighters. I've got the full set for my original N64. It comes with the adapter so you can plug them right in and have a nice wireless N64 style controller. But now we've got the Bluetooth version that'll work with the Switch or PC. In fact, we can swap this over to X input mode, so we can basically use this with the Raspberry Pi or even an Android phone or tablet if you wanted to. This one does not have analog triggers, and you know, for most of the N64 games we're going to be playing, we don't need them anyway, but it would have been nice to have them so we could use this for modern games also. I mean, it could still be done, but these triggers are going to be either on or off. They do offer a few different colors. We've got the crystal blue here. Really love the look of this. I'm not sure how well it's coming across on camera, but my personal favorite here is their white. I call it ghost white, and I think it looks absolutely amazing. So as you can see, we've got the white D-pad, white analog sticks, white buttons. I mean, this thing is ghosted out and it looks really, really good. I've been using this quite a bit on the Nintendo Switch and my PC for some of my favorite N64 games, and it's worked out really well. And I do have to mention that yes, this will work with regular Switch games also. It doesn't have to be just an N64 game to use the controller. It actually utilizes their new swap function, so we can use the Nintendo Switch Online N64 mode or Switch Pro Controller mode. So, you know, you can go either way with it. It's got a screenshot and home button up top. It's got a motion sensor built in, so when you're using it as a Switch Pro controller, you can play your favorite motion-based games on the Switch. And this also supports system wake up, and this is important to a lot of people. So basically, when your Switch is in sleep mode and your controller is completely off, all you really need to do is power the controller back up and it'll wake the Switch up. A lot of third-party controllers on the market don't support this, and I'm really glad to see that it's been added to the new Brawler64 wireless controller. And of course, up top here, we've got USB Type-C for charging up the internal battery. This does connect to the Switch or your PC using Bluetooth technology, and you can get over 10 hours of gameplay out of a single charge. Getting the controller paired up to the Switch is quite easy. We actually don't even need to go into the controller menu here, but I just want to show you exactly when it pairs. Basically, we're just going to hold this rear pairing button for about 3 seconds. You'll see that LED scroll a bit faster when you're in pairing mode. Give it a few seconds, and it's going to pair right up with the Switch. So right now, we're in N64 mode, or Nintendo Switch Online N64 mode, so it will be detected as an N64 controller. And really, that's the main use I've been getting out of it with Nintendo Switch Online or even emulation on PC. So let's go ahead and get into a little bit of 007. Always love the feel and the ergonomics of the Brawler64 controller, and not much has changed here from the original to this one when it comes to the overall design, but obviously we've got more technology built in. We do have dual vibration motors and that motion sensor built in, and playing N64 games with this is actually really awesome, especially something like GoldenEye 007. Never had an issue aiming with this analog stick over here. Like I mentioned, it would have been nice to have those analog triggers on this, and of course, none of our N64 games are going to support this, but when we're playing Nintendo Switch games or even using this as a controller for a PC, just would have been awesome to have this, especially for racing games. But yeah, I've always been a huge fan of the Brawler64, and now that we've got a version that really does work with the Nintendo Switch in several different ways, I think this one's better than ever. Definitely wanted to show off a couple games here. So here's Wave Race 64, and if you take a look at the analog stick or the housing around the analog stick, this kind of gives us that 8-way analog just like we got in the original N64 controller. And of course, Mario 64, just wanted to see what we got going on here. And yeah, this is going to work out really well for these Nintendo Switch Online N64 games. Or, you know, if you're into emulation on PC, you can always just pair it right up in X input mode and map this controller to basically any emulator. Moving over to the new BattlerGC. Now this one is a bit different because this doesn't work over Bluetooth. This has a couple different 2.4 gigahertz dongles that we can either plug into our PC, our Nintendo Switch, Gamecube, or Wii U. Inside of the box, got our manual, everything you need to know about the controller is in here. USB Type-C for charging the internal battery. And just like the Brawler64, we get 10 plus hours of gameplay out of a single charge. This controller offers very low latency given that it uses 2.4 gigahertz technology, and we've got our USB dongle right here that's going to plug into the Switch or your PC. And the other adapter works with the original GameCube, the Wii, and the Wii U. Now with the Wii U, you'll need the official GameCube controller adapter, and obviously with the Wii, you're going to need one that had the GameCube ports. And by the way, it's also compatible with the Game Boy player. At the time of making this video, Retro Fighters offers 3 different color variants when it comes to the BattlerGC. We've got the purple, which is kind of the OG GameCube color. They also offer black and orange. Now, I was only able to get my hands on the purple and black, but that orange really does look good. I've seen pictures of it, and I kind of wish I had that one. But if I had to choose between them, I would probably just go with the OG purple here. Now this one does have analog triggers. Both of the rear triggers are analog, and we kind of got the same ergonomics that they've been going with their controllers. It's definitely a funkier design than we're used to seeing on controllers, but it does feel really nice in the hand. I also wanted to give you a look at that black version here, and if you're interested in checking out the orange, you can head over to their website. I'll leave a link in the description. But yeah, I mean, both of these do look really good. First glance, you take a look at this, and it does scream GameCube with that big green button and that smaller red one right there. It does have wireless vibration feedback, dual Z shoulder buttons, obviously it's using 2.4 wireless technology, 10 plus hours of gameplay out of the battery with a 30-foot wireless range. Getting this paired up to the Switch is really easy. All we need to do is plug in the wireless dongle, one of the USB ports, and obviously if you're using a GameCube or a Wii, you're just going to plug in the other adapter. Let's go ahead and dock the Switch. And once we're ready to go, all we need to do is turn on the controller. We've got a power button up top. Give it a few seconds, and it's paired up, ready to go. There is one thing I forgot to mention because I've always got it enabled on mine, but if you go into the Switch settings, you will need to enable Pro Controller mode in order for this to work properly. But that's about it. So yeah, I've been using this controller with Sunshine quite a bit recently, and overall, really do like the feel of it. Gives off that GameCube vibe, and I could definitely recommend both of these controllers if you're looking for something new for your Nintendo Switch or even your PC. Now personally, my favorite would be the Brawler64, just a huge N64 fan, but you know, if you want that GameCube look, then the BrawlerGC is probably for you. The final thing I wanted to take a look at here, at least on the Brawler64 controller, was the D-pad functionality with fighting games. We've got the larger fighting D-pad on the Brawler64 as opposed to the smaller one on the BattlerGC, and for fighting games, I've always kind of liked these. At first, you'll notice that it's a bit stiffer than some of the other ones, but over time it will kind of work its way in. I wish it had a little more give to it, you know, a little more play, but overall, I mean, it's very accurate. You can definitely pull off your special moves in fighting games like Street Fighter with no issues at all. And to tell you the truth, I wish we saw more controllers on the market with these oversized D-pads. I think they're getting really good, and you know, if you've got larger hands, it really helps out. And keep in mind, both of these controllers do work with PC. The Brawler64 is going to connect over Bluetooth. The BattlerGC, you'll just need that USB dongle, but it works with Windows. I've tested it out with a few different emulators, and as long as you can do some mapping, then you can definitely get these buttons right. But that's going to wrap it up for this one. Really appreciate you watching. If you're interested in learning more about these Retro Fighter controllers, I'll leave some links in the description. And if you've got any questions, let me know down below. And like always, thanks for watching.